Friendship 2.0! The first thing I want to address is my clearly superb editing skills. My editing skills are all of 0. Which I guess kind of answers your question number 2 about how tech savvy I am, which is about a 1. I can turn on my computer and I can do this, kind of. To address your weather thing, 42 degrees / 107 degrees is awesome because ice cream. Only ice cream I like is in Italy. Hot, shirtless Italian men. Yeah, I said it. I quite enjoyed how you said that Americans don't care about anything and therefore you know nothing about the Scottish referendum. I have to admit I really have to actively search out stuff that I want to know about the world, so that's not just you, don't worry. But with the Scottish referendum, I thought it was really interesting because all the young people got all excited about being their own country, but all the older people were like, but we don't have any actual resources or economic standing, so let's not. And then the old people won, so I guess that's a good thing, because now Scotland won't crash and burn. To answer your questions, my dear. Question 1. Do I have a car? Actually, I have a pickup truck. I have a Ford F-150 that I've had since I turned 16, and I absolutely love it. I keep wanting to buy a car because it would be better on gas and better for the environment, but then I'm like, but I look so badass in my truck. 2. I already answered question number 2, kind of. My tech abilities are pretty low. I can work a DSLR camera, I can work my laptop mostly. But as far as editing any products or making anything look pretty or work really well, I'm not so good at that. So I guess I'm about a 1 or a 2. I think I could be a lot better, and I hope I will be by the end of my program because it's really important in media and marketing. Question number 3. So I really like question number 3 because I love food. I've traveled all over Europe, and I just developed this obsession with really good food and like well-prepared food and the love of food and finding food and cooking food and the whole thing, and I just absolutely love it. So for me, talking about food is hard because I can't stop, just like I can't stop eating with good food. If I really had to pick, I would say that I have a big love affair with good sushi, and I really, really like anything that's made with lots of good quality olive oil, but also chocolate. Pretty much anything with chocolate you can get me on board with. But one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about, because I have a whole bunch of time today, is feminism. I've had some issues lately where I've been speaking up more and more in feminist Facebook groups and online forums and things like that, and finding I get a really negative response. The biggest problem that people seem to have with me is that I'm white. And I get a lot of people telling me that the fact that I view feminism from a liberal political standpoint is also a problem. There are many feminists who think that the best way to dismantle the patriarchy is by inverting it, and I think that inverting the power structure still leaves us with a power structure, and I think that that's just as problematic. And while it might be a little more fun for women than it is right now, it doesn't really help things in the long run just to invert everything that's problematic right now. Do you consider yourself a feminist? How does that classify things for you? What does it mean to you? What do you do with it? Have you had problems like this, etc., etc.? Because I think that there's a lot of people who feel excluded from the feminist spaces because maybe they're not as educated about it or not as vocal about it, or maybe they're making choices seem as unfeminist by others, like working in the sex trade or being promiscuous in general, or, you know, wearing makeup and shaving their legs and things like that some people seem to think are not feminist. And maybe you're one of the people that thinks those things aren't feminist. Let me know. I want to know. I always am looking to get more educated on this because I feel like it's one of those things you can never know everything about because everyone's idea of how the world should look is completely different. So I guess we'll finish with a couple more questions for you on top of your big scary feminist question. If you could travel anywhere, where would it be and why? Where have you traveled? And question 3. What is your most embarrassing school experience? And my last question. Tell me something that is awesome about you. I want you to brag, okay? So that's it for me. That was Friday, September 26th, the Friendship 2.0 with Sam. And I'll see you on Monday, Katie.